I'm Emily Venerian. Coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you which daily habit could reduce your risk of stroke.
Dietitians say the best thing to do is to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. So what does a brain with Alzheimer's look like? Well, in this photo, you can see a normal human brain. But as the nerve cells die and the brain loses tissue, the brain shrinks. February's Go Red for Women in the fight against heart disease. I'm Emily Veneri, and coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you which mineral is stirring up some trouble.
I'm Emily Venerian, straight ahead on WVU News. If you're a smoker, listen up. You may need to find a new place to light up on campus. Our award-winning WVU News starts now. Daniel Phipps is a sophomore pre-forensics major at West Virginia University. His 79-year-old grandmother, Carl Phipps, has Alzheimer's disease.
And she'd go out and buy you candy and whatever you wanted, and now you're the grown-up looking down on her, trying to make sure that she's okay instead of the other way around. So you've kind of lost your grandma already, even though she's still there.
So what does a brain with Alzheimer's look like? Well, in this photo, you can see a normal human brain. But as the nerve cells die and the brain loses tissue, the brain shrinks. You can see the difference in size here. Researchers at the Blanchette Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute continue to do research on Alzheimer's because of the amounts of people it's affecting.
1 in 10 people has Alzheimer's disease by the time they're 65. That increases to 1 in 2 by the time people are 85 and older.
Groundbreaking research is being done right here in Morgantown. This is giving hope to the future of Alzheimer's.
And we've discovered that when we manipulate protein kinase C in animals, we can actually start to reduce the severity and in some cases actually reverse some of the effects of Alzheimer's.
Because Alzheimer's is genetic, news like this keeps Phipps hopeful about things he could face as his own parents get older.
I would hate to see my dad go through that. My dad's a huge impact in my life, one of my biggest heroes. So with the research, I would hope that before my dad got to that point that it could be stopped.
While Phipps looks ahead with high hopes for the future, he still plans to do all he can for his grandma when he gets the chance to see her.
3 buck doubles and 2...
Studies show most West Virginians are obese due to poor eating habits. Things aren't like that for Pasha Adamo. What she chooses to consume on a daily basis could be a matter of life and death.
My cholesterol is still high just because of genetics. I've been able to help that a lot on my own. So I know that from seeing my family, older relatives and cousins, what they've gone through, I know I need to start taking care of myself now.
Adamo has a family history of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and heart disease. All of these things are impacted heavily by sodium intake. The average American consumes 2 to 3 teaspoons of sodium a day. That's equal to 4,000 to 6,000 milligrams. Those numbers are double the Food and Drug Administration's recommended daily allowance. Dietitians say the best thing to do is to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. Kristen McCartney is a registered dietitian for the Cardiac Project. She says large quantities of sodium have harsh effects on the body.
You get more sodium in your bloodstream. It pulls fluid from other parts of your body, which makes your blood thicker and harder to pump, so that's where you get into heart disease and stroke and issues like that.
Adamo knows making tasteful and healthy choices can be difficult. However, she finds other ways to get great flavor without relying on salt.
I don't think people realize that when you use those vegetables and those fresh herbs, it's amazing how much flavor you can get out of that without needing salt.
Adamo hopes her focus on eating right will help her long-term health. Emily Veneri, WVU News, Morgantown. West Virginia University has created a task force to look into the current smoking policy at WVU. This policy has not been amended since 1990 and is not enforced. Chair of the task force, C.B. Wilson, says he hopes smokers and non-smokers compromise.
We've tried not to use the word enforcement as much as it is the idea of people being willing to be part of this project.
Both smokers and non-smokers came to an open forum to discuss ideas for the new policy. President of Tobacco Free Mountaineers, Brandon Beacom, hopes that a smoke-free campus will set the stage for a healthier West Virginia.
It's just a battle that we have, and it's the same way here in this university. And so I believe that if WVU becomes tobacco-free, then basically we'll be the pioneer for the state to become healthier.
Other changes that could potentially be added to a policy is that people need to be 20 feet from a university entrance before they light up their cigarette.
Student Jennifer Hall agrees that compromises need to be made.
There's a lot of people who smoke, so maybe we should try to be more accommodating for those people and still be respectful of those who don't smoke.
The task force's intentions are not necessarily to make the campus smoke-free, but to make it a better environment for both smokers and non-smokers. And straight ahead, we'll tell you how some Japanese students here at West Virginia are dealing with disaster back home. I'm Emily Veneri, and you're watching WVU News, an award-winning newscast produced by journalism students at West Virginia University. Former Egyptian leader Hosni Mubarak has stepped down, causing other Middle Eastern countries to rally together. The pressure has now turned towards Libyan leader Muammar al-Gaddafi, as citizens are demanding a change. While residents feel the pressure to get their taxes done on time, some 30% of West Virginians will light up a cigarette to deal with the stress. 3,000 non-smokers die each year from secondhand smoke. I recently attended an open forum here in Morgantown to find out what changes task force members are looking to make to the smoking policy here at WVU. If you would like to know more about Alzheimer's disease, you can visit www.alz.org. The address is at the bottom of your screen.
Students are actually taking the initiative to help clean up the community.
Absolutely, Alex. I think it's great. And coming up next on WVU News, we'll tell you how the Mountaineer football team is cleaning up this spring. Find out how players are reacting to new offensive coordinator and head coach in waiting, Dana Holgorsen. Coach Van Zandt is still searching for a new closer to replace recently graduated Chris Enurato. WVU sports reporter Alex Wiederspiel joins us with more about what's going on in the West Virginia bullpen. Alex, that's going to do it for us this week for WVU News. Remember to visit us online at itunes.wvu.edu. You can also watch any of our shows on YouTube. The address is at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for watching WVU News.